Gemara goes into a different discussion regarding also what's considered a vlad regarding tumah, regarding Tanan Hasam. Ein lenefalim psichas hakever ad sheyagilu rosh kepika. If a nefal is found in the uterus, and then but the kever opens. The kever is kever harechem, right? The part of the woman that opens up when she gives birth. It's called a kever. That's where like the nefal is buried there, right? It's like inside over there. So if there's a nefal inside, so then the tumah should go out from her into the bias. But only if the nefal has. Good morning. Only it's still in her. Yeah, pretty sure. So Rashi says, "Isha shemeis ubro b'mei'eha v'yashval mashber v'niftach kever harechem." She was sitting to give birth, and the kever harechem opened up, and the vlad did not come out. And then Haitziol Bayis Acher, Tomei Bayis Arishon. The first Bayis is Tomei, even though the baby. The reason why Rashi says it has to go into a different house, because if the nefal comes out, so then it's for sure Tomei. Right? But even if it didn't come out in this house, all that happened in this house was Niftach HaKever. Right? So then,
There's only one way to go out.
There's only. What do you mean Seif Tumah Latzeis? Seif Tumah Latzeis
Means if it goes out through that door or window, then the house is still tummy. Unless there's other choices.
Oh, Seif Tumah Latzeis is the Gabi the Dindra Abanon of whether we're geyser. But over here, I'll consider Abanon. Over here, we look at it as the Tumah's Boikas. Rashi says the Tumah goes out through the psich of the rechem, and it's batam of the house. The issue is how to square this with Tumah Blua. So Rashi seems to say that it's not a problem with Tumah Blua if the nefal is mature enough, then it's not a problem with Tumah Blua. Meaning the fact that it's Tumah that's swallowed up and that's not out, right? It's still matameh. But anyway, what the Mishnah is saying, it's a Mishnah knowledge. Ein lenefalim psichas hakever. Even if the kever of the rechem opens up, these nefals not metame ad sheyagilu rosh kefika, until their head is round like a pika. Pika is a ball, which means that in order for the nefal to be metame, it has to have a certain level of maturity, a certain level of development. And then once the kever opens up, then it could be metame. If it's not, if the head of the fetus isn't thick enough, isn't round like a ball, then it's not mitam. My kipika orders pika amar avuna kipika shel tzemer, a ball of wool. I'm not sure what this means, a ball of wool. Whether it means like when you have wool rolled up, like when they're
doing the weaving, so they have the wool that goes back and forth. They put they put that into a ball. It's called a pika. I think there might be a picture there, and that the one under the chumash.
Oh, I see. Oh, second first.
It's around the middle someplace. This is where BeiRav says the first thing is on Kolel.
Yeah, no, I see. Oh, but it doesn't have.
Base amount? That arranged by.
Misibot muvanot lo navi tmunot likan. For understood reasons, we're not going to give pictures. Reminds me in Israel one time. They were learning Ilchas Lulav. So Shraganubik, one of the Magid Shomis, they brought all different. This type of the weird cases the Gemara brings down, and he said, "I just hope by Ilchas Nida they don't bring."
You see a picture of the
He doesn't bring a picture.
Let me see.
You say page 52. Oh, I don't know if that's.
Okay. Either way, it's the ball of wool, but how big is it? Is it when it's a lot or it's a little? I wasn't sure if it's the ball at the end of the needle or it means.
It says the disc on the spindle gives momentum and stretches the fiber. On the spindle is what? That's what
spindle is what?
Yeah.
never know. Okay, I'm just not sure how big it is. I'm not sure how big it is. And the Gemara gives different shiurim. It says, Amar Ravuna kipika shel tzamer, and Amar leichi bar ashi bar Rav Ravuna, Rabbi Parish shel shesi or shel erev. Did Rabbi mean of the bowl of the shesi one or the erev one? Apparently, the erev was bigger.
Different thickness, so the size is different.
The thickness of the string was the thickness of the wool was thicker. And the ball at the end was thicker. So which one do you mean? Amar lei Tanya. Piko shel shesi divrei Meir b'domer shel erev. Okay, machlokes tanoim. Elizabeth Tzadok Amar Mishayir tfifiyos. That it's only considered it hit the level of maturity until you see tfifiyos. What's tfifiyos? My tfifiyos. And Rabbi Yehuda Mishmul Mishum Elizabeth Tzadok Kacha Yim Mefarshim b'Yerushalayim. In the name of Elizabeth Tzadok, you say in Yerushalayim, Kifreda shikoiras, like a mule that I think some change it to para, shikoiras that kneels lahatil mimeh to urinate. The nearest pika mitoich pika, and you see a bowl within a bowl. That's why pifi is two peas, two bowls, two pikas. Hainu tzifia is Rashi says trei zimni pipi hainu pika. So you see some type of Rashi says you see kmatim or like folds within folds in the rechem, right? I guess when it opens up that amount, then Rav Elazar Tzadok holds that's considered, that opens up enough. That's called psichas harechem. As Rashi explains, the Elazar Tzadok's shita isn't in the thickness of the head. The other ones are arguing the shesi or erev, how thick must be, how round it must be. But Elazar Tzadok holds no, even if it wasn't round like a ball, but it's called psichas hakever as long as you opens up a certain amount that you see the fold within the folds, just like a preda that's kairas latam a man, you see that. Okay. Amr of Huna Shamati Shtei Pikais. I heard two things about pikais. Achas shel shesi v'achas shel erev ein lefarish. I heard a din legabe shesi, a din legabe erev. I'm not sure what's legabe what goes where, why there are two dinim. Kiasar of dinim arbeichon shalosh pikas shamati. I heard of three. Achas shel shesi, achas shel erev, achas shel pika gdoila shel sakayin. I heard another halacha regarding the sacks, which is even thicker, right? The same type of thing when they used to weave sacks, but it's even thicker. And the farish, and I can't explain. I don't know what it's talking about. So Ravin Pirsha. So Ravin came and he explained to Mishmei Rabbi Yechanan shel isha kishel shesi. By humans, as long as it opens and the head is like shesi. That's the smallest. That's the smallest shear. Shel behema is kishel erev. That's a bigger shear. Behema means that the same type of thing that a behema. Rashi says if the roya would stick his hand, behema doesn't have an issue of oil, right? Behemas are not mitame oil, so therefore it's going to be. Therefore, it has to be referring to maga or masa, right? So Rashi says that if the roya sticks his hand in, while it's psichas hakever, if it's developed enough that it's the agila roisha pika shel erev, then it's mitame. And this is where Rashi says that. What do you mean? We know that tumah blua is not mitame. So Rashi says that's only if it's underdeveloped. But if it's developed, then tumah blua is mitame. I guess if it's open. And pika gedola shel sakayin. What is the nafkamina? Well, what's the shear? What's the halachic shear of pika gedola shel sakayin? The sack ball, the ball of sack wool. What is that? What's the nafkamina of that halacha? Keditnan gush haba mi beis hapras. If you have a chunk of dirt that comes from beis hapras, beis hapras is a field where a mace was scattered there. You don't know exactly where the dead body is, so it's a choshesh b'tumah or me'eretz ha'amim. Also from outside of Eretz Yisrael, there were geyser that the offer is mitameh. So shiurai. The shear of it to be mitame is kepika gdela shel sakayin. That's the shear. Shear is that it has to be that amount of wool, that amount of dirt in order to be metame shukechoisam hamartzufin, which is also similar, the same exact shear as the choisam hamartzufin. Martzufin are big sacks, I think. I guess the seal of the sack.
Hold
Cargo.
They hold cargo. Sealed shut with a ball of clay.
Oh no, that's the next one. And then besides for it being the Pika Gdela Shel Sakoin, the same shear as Chois and Martzufin, and also Yeshne B'tzad Elin Shel Megufas HaChavis HaLachmis. The Chavis that came from Beis Lechem used to have on top of it a cover that would end in a ball shape that you'd be able to carry it, you'd be able to hold it, some type of handle. That handle, the size of that handle is the same thing as Pika Gdela Shel Sakoin and Chois and Martzufin. That's the shear. Okay. Fine. If you take tzir, if you take fish juice, right, the liquid that comes out of fish, you buy it from an Amma Oretz. Now the chashash is that maybe it's tamei, because maybe the Amma Oretz was tamei and it was metamei. So what do you do with this tzir? Mashikai b'mayim. All you have to do is do hashaka to a mikvah. What do you do? You have your barrel. Let's say you have a bucket and you have the tzir in the bucket. So all you have to do is stick it into the mikvah, let the water overflow into the mikvah, into the bucket, and then once there's a connection between the water, the mikvah, and the bucket, so then it's fine. Mashikoy b'mayim v'tohar mimanav shem. Then it's tar either way, because imay rubaninu. If most of this tzir is water, so then kevan david le'hashaka tari lehu. Because once you did hashaka, once you connect it to the mikvah, the mayim is tahar. The halacha is that regular mashkim, you can't. Once the mashkim becomes tummy or oichol also for that matter, you cannot be mitahir. Once it's tummy, it's tummy. Even if you put it into the mikvah, or if you do the same trick with yayin, let's say, it's not going to work. If you have yayin in a bucket and the yayin became tummy, you want to do hashaka. No, it doesn't work. You can't be mitahir yayin once it became tummy. So how do we do it with mayim? The reason why mayim works is because mayim isn't pshat that you're mitahir the mayim. The pshat is that you connect it to the mikvah and it becomes part of the mikvah. Once it becomes part of the mikvah, so then it loses its status of tumah automatically. Not because it's not like you dipped the wine. No, you can't dip wine. You didn't dip the water either. What you did was you connected the mayim to the actual mikvah, and the hashaka works automatically to make it batal to the mikvah. So that's if it's mayim, if it's rive mayim, so you do hashaka and it's fine. But iru b'tzir, if most of what the Amoritz gave you is the fish brine, that's not a problem because tzir loy bar kibul tumahu. Tzir is not chashav enough of a mashket to be kabul tumahu. Rashi says it's zeya ba'alma. It's just steam, whatever that comes out. It's sweat.
And in the tzir they put in water. That was the problem.
They mix it with water.
Yeah, they mixed it with water. The Amoritz touched the water, so that could be the time of the tzir. So that's why you got to be mevatel the tumah from the water, like putting hashak in the mikvah.
Right. That's if it's roiv mayim.
Yeah.
If it's roiv mayim, so you have to be. You can get rid of the tumah from the mayim al yidei hashaka. If it's roiv tzir, right? So the ruba tzir ninu. The one says ruba because there's mayim there, right? But if roiv is tzir, so the tzir is not makabel tumah. But ma'ika mishum hanach miyuta de maya. But what's your issue? Your issue is that there's still a little water left in the tzir. That's tamei. Hanach batal beruba. That's batal beroiv of the tzir. So the tzir is mevatal the little mayim that's there. The tzir is not a kabel tumah, so the mayim is also not going to be a kabel tumah. Okay, so then you don't even have to do hashaka. Omar Rabbi Yirmiyah says Rabbi Yirmiyah lo yishanu ela litval b'hen pitay. All we mean that the tzir now is not tamei is if you want to dip your bread in it. You want to dip your bread in it, you don't want to become tamei, you don't want to get anything tamei, right? So then it's not a problem. Why? Because the roiv mayim, the roiv tzir is mevatel the mayim. Says the Gemara, but if you want to stick him to another kedera with more mayim, that's a problem. You cannot stick him there. Why? Because matzah min esmina even there. What happens is that the water finds the other water. Like let's say you have in your pot you have more water. Then you take this tzir that has a little bit of tummy water. Until now it was batal in the tzir. Right, but now when you stick it into the pot with more water, so now the water will find the other water. Matzah minas minay. It's going to find the water is going to find its mate, and now there is enough water not to be batal in the tzir, and then the dormant water that was batal but is tamei, that is going to be mitame the other water, and now you have tamei. Now all the water in the pot is tamei. Yes, the tzir isn't tamei, but now because there's more water, the small amount of water is mitame the rest of it.
It's not if you do hashaka, because if you do hashaka,
so if you do
the water was not, it wasn't batal to the tzir. It now become, well, if it's rov,
if
it's rov mayim, then it became part.
Then it became tar.
Then it became tar. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Right, we're talking about the case when it's rov
It was a
tzir.
miyat, right? Rov tzir, because then it had to be mevatel.
It was just mevatel. But the question is let's say it's rov tzir and then you did hashaka anyway, right? You did hashaka anyway.
So
could be it's not.
Does it become part of the mikvah or it doesn't? Or
It doesn't become part of the mikvah because the tzir redefines the water, and now you can't do hashaka to it. Rashi says. Yeah, Rashi says v'hashaka lemahani lehu ha'il v'ruba tzir. Because rov of this mixture is tzir, so it's defined as tzir, and even if you do hashaka, it's not going to help because there is no halacha. There's no mayim here. There's no mayim. You can't do hashaka. Yeah. Okay, so Rashi says hashaka doesn't work, which means that this case is talking even if you did hashaka. Even if you did hashaka, it's not going to make a difference. It sounds like the cases over here, you're doing hashaka. It's one case. It's not pshat, two cases, one that is rov mayim, one that is rov tzir. And Amaritz gives you tzir. You just don't know. Is it rov mayim? Is it rov tzir? It's all mixed up. It smells like fish, right? we don't know what it is. So the Gemara says, do hashaka. Right? If you do hashaka and it's rov mayim, it's fine. If it's not rov mayim, so you don't need to do hashaka because it's rov tzir. The tzir is mevatel the mayim. Right, but says Rabbi Yirmiyah on the tzad that it's rov tzir, your hashaka did not work at all for the mayim, and then if you stick it into a kedera, it's going to be mitztarif with the new mayim. So he says it's a problem. Okay, Taisus asks that we had a few times in Chul we had the case of salikis minoi. If you have min b'minoi and min b'she'ena minoi. So Yehuda, the Gemara brought in from Yehuda. Yehuda holds the min b'minoi in a bottle, right? But you have one thing that's aser, and then you have minoi, which is mutter, and eina minoi, which is mutter, right? So Rabbi Yehuda holds min b'minoi is not bottle, but it's eina minoi, right? So which one do you look at it? Do you view the mixture as min b'minoi and min she'eina minoi, right? So what we say is salekis minoi. We take the minoi, we look at it as it's not there. The eina minoi, if it has enough to be mevatel, it's going to be mevatel. So Taisa asks, should be the same thing over here by us too. We should look at the tzir. We should look at the minoi, which is the mayim kimisha, right? And the tzir should still be mevatel it. Why should the mayim be mitame the other mayim? Let's let the tzir still be mevatel it, and let the new mayim come in and not play a role. So Taisus makes a chilik. He says that over there by Yisur Beheter, the other part remains mutter, and it's just purely a question of bittul. All the other parts remain mutter. Over here, the mayim is mitame, the other mayim. Right? It's not like Isser V'Heter. By Isser V'Heter you have whatever's mutter stays mutter, whatever's also stays. It's just a taruvis. Over here, the tumah is mitame, the other mayim. So Taisa seems to say that's why you can't say it. You can't say that the mayim is mevatel it. Okay, that's Taisa. So either way, that's what Rabbi Yirmiyah is saying. So Yosef Rav Dimi Kamal Hashmaita. So Rav Dimi said, Shalom. And he said this teaching of Rabbi Yirmiyah. What do you mean? It's already was batal. It's batal. Once it's batal, is a chayzer v'neir. Can it come again and reawaken? So he tells him back, "Vat like this, bro. Oh, you don't hold that. What do you mean vat not? There's a Mishnah in Truma that says if you have a sa'ah of Truma Tmeya, you're not allowed to eat, right? If you have a sa'ah of Truma Tmeya that falls in shenafla lemeya chulin, that falls into 100 sa'ahs of chulin, right? So really, chulin is batal b'meya. If you have 100 times, so it's sorry, Truma is batal b'mei chulin. So it really is batal. So Rabbi Eliyahu Omer, teirum v'tirkav. What do? You have to pick one up, pick up one si'ah, and then let it rot. Meaning, pick up any random si'ah. You don't know where it is. If you know where it is, avad, you have to take out the one the asr one. But you don't know where it is. Right? It doesn't make sense. You pick up a random one and you let it rot. Shani Omer, that we were Taila, and we say he saw Shanafla, this is the Sa'ah that fell, this is the Sa'ah that I picked up. He saw also. Meaning it's a D'Rabbanan de Gazach, which we don't really assume that it's the one. I mean D'Rabbanan we say that you have to remove one just so that you're not going to be nene from the Truma. Right, so what you do is you take one out, just take one out, just to make sure you're not getting nene from the fact that Truma Tmeya fell in here. Okay, but really it must be Rabbi Eliezer holds it's batal, right? They hold ta'ale, everything is oile, meaning it's batal. The whole thing is batal. However, it has to be eaten nikudim, which means dry, without hechsher. Right? If you're machsher, if you put water on whatever we're talking about over here, whether it's tvu or whatever, right? So then it's going to be machsher everything to be mekabel tumah. Once you're machsher mekabel tumah, the truma tmei can be matama everything. So you have to make sure no hechsher tumah happens here, because the truma tmei is going to be matama the chulin. So chachamim ta'ale v'techol nekudim has to be eaten dry. Oy klayas. Or you also dry, which clays when you roast it, right? You roast the kernels without any water. Or if you want to make something out of it, you can knead it with mei peris, which aren't machshel kabel tumah. Only the zayin mashkin and not mei peris. Apple juice is not, right? So if you want to do it with apple juice, or you can divide them into other doughs. As long as you don't have in one place a beitza, so that even if the tumah touches it, it's not going to be matama. Because in order to be matama tumas oichlem, you need a beitza. So if you don't have a beitza in one place, so then there's no problem of it being matama. V'tani Allah. Oisan chulin Rabbi Eliyahu Matay Alayan. According to Rabbi Eliyahu, what about him? Can you eat that other chulin? Can you eat that other chulin, or is it going to be tamei? So he says, also Yechlu nekudim oikloyas oyiloishu b'meiperis, the same thing. You have to be in dry without, or you roast them, or you need them in meiperis, because according to him, also so that it won't be machshel kabel tumah. Oitis chak lisis uvashto kabeitz makom echad. Rabbi Eliyahu also agrees. Okay, so but basically, what are we doing over here? The question is what's going on over here? Isn't it batal, right? You're allowed to eat it, right? Everyone holds it. It's not asar b'achila because it's batal, right? So if it's batal, so then why is the tumah? But both according to Rabbi Eliyahu, according to Chacham, according to everybody, why are we concerned for the tumah here? Let's say it's a kayan who's eating truma, or he wants to remain tameh. It's also a shaila. What do we care if you're eating chulin b'tumah? Chulin, you're allowed to eat b'tumah. But let's get past that a second. But still, it's batal. It was batal. So why isn't the tumah batal? Right? Why, even if you're machshir everything, even if you eat everything together, what are you telling me? Oh, there's a vaday, there's a truma, there's a piece of truma, there's a se'ah of truma tmei over here, and if everything is choshat together, so then everything is it's going to be mitame everything, right? Therefore, you have to make sure it's dry. You don't have enough together. But so, what do you mean? It was batal. You let it eat it. So the tumah should also be batal. We're maybe going to mix some of this with some other chulin, and you're going to have a little bit more. You're going to bring 51% kenegda. You're going to bring 51% to me mevatel, and what's going to be is every kav chulin tmeim wakamach, and you bring chulin tmeim. Okay, we'll mamshach tomorrow.